Apple, the trillion-dollar tech giant, the crown jewel of Silicon Valley, the maker of the world's most iconic phone, the iPhone, is facing its darkest hour. Why? Because two of the world's largest markets, India and China, have just slammed Apple with 100% tariffs. Yes, you heard that right, a doubling of costs overnight. Is this the end of Apple's dominance? Or can the company survive a financial earthquake that could wipe billions off its market value? Stay tuned, because this story is about more than just iPhones. It's about global trade wars, geopolitics, and the future of technology itself. The news hit like a thunderclap. In a single announcement, India and China declared that every iPhone entering their borders would now face a 100% tariff. To put that into perspective, if a standard iPhone 15 Pro costs around $1,000 in the US, that same phone would now retail for closer to $2,000 in China and India after tariffs, even before local taxes and fees are added. In some regions, the final price could approach 2.5 times the original US price. That's not just expensive, it's unattainable for the average consumer. But why target Apple specifically? Tariffs are supposed to be broad, covering categories of goods, but Beijing and New Delhi made sure to single out American tech, and Apple, being the biggest and most visible symbol of US innovation, was the perfect bullseye. For China, this move carries layers of meaning. Not only does it retaliate against US tariffs on Chinese steel, semiconductors, and electric vehicles, but it also strengthens domestic brands like Huawei, which has recently staged a dramatic comeback despite US sanctions. By making iPhones prohibitively expensive, China is nudging its citizens toward homegrown smartphones, feeding both economic self-sufficiency and national pride. India's motives are slightly different, but no less strategic. By doubling the price of imported iPhones, New Delhi is creating the perfect environment for its Make in India initiative. It wants Apple to not just sell in India, but to manufacture at scale within India. Tariffs are essentially a form of economic pressure, forcing Apple to either invest heavily in Indian production facilities or risk losing access to one of the world's fastest-growing smartphone markets. And here's where the shockwave really ripples. Apple has long relied on brand prestige to justify its high prices. An iPhone wasn't just a phone, it was a fashion statement, a badge of success. But when tariffs inflate that price into the stratosphere, even Apple's most loyal fans begin to hesitate. Think about it. In India, the average annual income is still under $3,000. Doubling the price of an iPhone essentially pushes it into the same category as a luxury car accessory, completely inaccessible to all but the wealthiest elites. In China, where competition is fierce and alternatives like Xiaomi, Oppo, and Huawei are producing near-identical smartphones at a fraction of the cost, Apple's market share could collapse within months. This tariff decision doesn't just hurt Apple's sales, it threatens to undermine its entire strategy in Asia. The company has spent years cultivating demand, opening stores, and running slick marketing campaigns. All of that effort could be undone almost overnight as consumers shift to competitors that are not only cheaper but also seen as patriotic purchases in an era of growing nationalism. Wall Street analysts call it a perfect storm. Apple is being hit from both sides. On one side, tariffs are making its products too expensive for everyday buyers. On the other, political tensions are branding Apple as a symbol of American dominance at a time when both China and India want to elevate their own industries. And the most dangerous part? This shockwave doesn't stop at iPhones. If tariffs expand to iPads, Macs, and wearables, Apple could see entire product lines vanish from two of the world's largest consumer markets. Apple's relationship with China has always been complicated. On one hand, China is the beating heart of Apple's supply chain. Foxconn, Pegatron, and dozens of other factories employ millions of Chinese workers who assemble the sleek devices that end up in your hands. On the other hand, China is also one of Apple's biggest customers. In fact, the Greater China region accounts for nearly 20% of Apple's revenue, tens of billions of dollars every year. By slapping a 100% tariff on iPhones, Beijing isn't just raising prices, it's sending a clear political message. If the US wants a trade war, Apple will pay the price. And for Tim Cook, Apple's CEO, this is a nightmare scenario. He can't easily abandon China, but staying means facing a collapsing market. To understand the magnitude of this collapse, let's first look at Apple's empire. Apple isn't just a phone company, it's an ecosystem worth more than the GDP of some countries. With over 2.2 billion active devices worldwide, Apple's iPhone is not just a product, it's a status symbol, a lifestyle, and for millions, even a necessity. China and India play a massive role in this empire. China is both Apple's biggest manufacturing hub and one of its largest markets. India, on the other hand, has become Apple's fastest-growing market, with demand skyrocketing among its young, tech-savvy population. Together, these two countries represent more than a third of the world's population. Losing them isn't just a setback, it's catastrophic. India's decision to join China in targeting Apple may surprise some, but the logic is clear. India has been pushing for Atmanirbhar Bharat, a self-reliant India, encouraging homegrown tech and discouraging reliance on foreign imports. Apple has tried to court India by setting up local assembly plants and even opening flagship Apple stores in Mumbai and Delhi, but the 100% tariff changes everything. For Indian consumers, an iPhone that once cost Rs 80,000 could now shoot past Rs 11. 6 lakh, completely out of reach for the middle class. This is a golden opportunity for local competitors like Micromax, Lava, and international rivals like Samsung and Xiaomi. India is essentially telling Apple, if you want our market, build it here or lose it forever. Let's talk about the people who matter most, the consumers. In China, Apple is seen as a luxury brand, a symbol of success. In India, owning an iPhone is often considered a mark of prestige, but when the price of an iPhone doubles, consumers will start looking elsewhere. Chinese buyers may switch to Huawei or Xiaomi, while Indian buyers may choose Samsung or budget-friendly brands. Imagine the ripple effect. Millions of consumers shifting away from Apple in just a few months. That means fewer App Store purchases, fewer subscriptions to Apple Music, Apple TV, and iCloud. The collapse of hardware sales will drag down Apple's entire services ecosystem. And of course, Wall Street is watching closely. Apple isn't just any company, it's the world's most valuable stock. Pension funds, retirement accounts, and investment portfolios around the globe are tied to Apple's performance. With India and China slamming the door shut, investors could panic. Apple's stock might crash, wiping out hundreds of billions in market capitalization in days. Analysts will start downgrading, headlines will scream about Apple's collapse, and Silicon Valley will shiver at the thought that the golden age of iPhones may finally be over. But here's the real question. Can Apple survive this storm? Apple is not new to challenges. It has weathered supply chain disruptions, lawsuits, and even bans before. But this time, the challenge is bigger. Losing access to India and China simultaneously is like losing two pillars that hold up the entire building. Some strategies Apple might consider include 1. Relocating manufacturing, shifting more factories to Vietnam, Indonesia, or even Mexico to escape Chinese tariffs. 2. Local production in India, dramatically scaling up iPhone assembly inside India to bypass tariffs and appeal to national pride. 3. Diversifying products, pushing Macs, iPads, and services harder in Western markets to offset losses. 4. Pricing adjustments, releasing budget iPhones specifically designed for emerging markets. But beyond business, this is about geopolitics. Apple has become a pawn in a much larger chess game between the US, China, and India. Washington may try to shield Apple through negotiations, but Beijing and New Delhi know the leverage they hold. This tariff move isn't just economic, it's symbolic. It tells the world that even America's biggest tech titan can be humbled when politics come into play. It's the perfect message for two rising powers who no longer want to play second fiddle to Silicon Valley. So who wins and who loses from Apple's collapse in India and China? Winners, local smartphone makers, global rivals like Samsung, and governments in China and India who can use tariffs to strengthen their domestic industries. Losers, Apple shareholders, US tech dominance, and millions of loyal iPhone fans who will be priced out. But there's another subtle winner here. China and India's soft power. By showing they can shake even Apple, they're signaling to the world that the balance of economic power is shifting away from the West. Apple now stands at a crossroads. Will it adapt, reconfigure, and survive this tariff war? Or will this be remembered as the moment when the world's most valuable company began its decline? Some believe Apple's innovation machine will carry it through. New products like augmented reality headsets, electric cars, and artificial intelligence could open new doors. Others believe the iPhone era itself is ending, and tariffs will only accelerate the fall. In the end, Apple's collapse in India and China isn't just about tariffs. It's about a changing world order, where technology, politics, and economics collide. The iPhone may survive, but the days of Apple's unquestioned dominance may be over. What do you think? Can Apple reinvent itself and escape this crisis? Or are we witnessing the slow fall of a giant? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because the story of Apple, trade wars, and the future of global tech is far from over.